Ronan Leonard, tell us about Mastermind.
The concept of the mastermind was originally written by Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. He was mentored by Andrew Carnegie, huge oil baron, steel baron in the US, made billions. And the idea is that when you connect two or more people together, you create a third mind, almost like a supermind. And the supermind is always more intellectually robust and has a different view than the two people would have had on their own. It's one of the reasons that co-founders do so well, not because they are doing twice as much work as a solo business owner, but effectively they're able to shape their ideas from a good idea into a great idea. They're able to bounce off each other and bury the bad idea without the single person would just continue on that. So it's just a great way of almost crowdsourcing other people's ideas and intellectual property so that you create something better than you would have done on your own.
So how does Mastermind work?
The concept is that you connect a group of people together, and when I do it, it's virtually, but you can do them in person as well. And you bounce ideas off each other. You help each other with goal setting, advice, support, feedback. Basically, just as I said, you are crowdsourcing all their experience, intellectual property, and come together to help each other to resolve issues.
These are businesses.
Predominantly businesses. I'll give you a great example of a mastermind. If you've ever seen the Impressionist movement, Rene, Degas, all of those amazing artists, that art movement didn't happen in isolation. They used to meet in a cafe in Paris almost nightly. They would share paint, they would share canvases, but they would also share ideas. And as a result, that when they all came together, they actually created a whole new art revolution called the Impressionist movement. So there wasn't just one painter saying, this is the new way to go. They collectively shaped that. And as a result, worth billions these days in art that we all know, love, and appreciate. So that's the true concept of a mastermind coming together.
So you bring different businesses together to talk?
Yes, different businesses. I believe that if you come in the same industry, so if you're all in HR or you're all in marketing, you tend to be stuck in that same sort of mindset. And most of the ideas you come up with are really based on what you've all heard and seen. So it's quite hard to break out of that cycle. And having somebody from a completely different industry, completely different background, gives you a fresh perspective. And that's where often the magic happens. Ostensibly, business is just all about ideas, implementing a good idea. So the better your idea and the more diverse the information that comes into shaping that idea, the more likely you are to change and come up with something quite radical.
Can you give us some examples of businesses you've brought together for a mastermind?
Yeah, I've brought some very diverse groups together. One of them has somebody who's technically known as a growth hacker, which is basically, it's like a marketing person that tries to sort of bypass convention and will do things a little bit on the edge of the spectrum. Another guy within that group does branding. A third person does PR and general marketing. Somebody else does rope access safety harnesses. And another person within that group actually teaches people how to network. So they are completely different industries, but they all come together for that commonality of all helping each other.
How difficult is that to bring together such different business groupings?
Ostensibly, there's a common sort of theme within there is that these people realize that they can't do it on their own. A lot of small business owners reach that ceiling where they don't know what they don't know. So there's a couple of key things that tend to sort of come out in masterminds. One, they've reached that point where they want to grow and they realize that the ideas and the knowledge they had just isn't enough to take them to that next level. And secondly, really good business owners actually enjoy helping people. The definition of a business is helping somebody at a price they're happy to pay for. It's as simple as that in business terms. You are solving problems. So a genuine, really good business owner loves helping people solve their problems. And when you're in that group, It's one of those things where you pay it forward. You go in with the group of not what can all these people do for me, but what can I do within this group to help them? And when you build that level of trust and accountability and deeper level of connection than just a Facebook group, people will genuinely go out of their way to help and support you when you're stuck with something. And it's very much a two-way street rather than, as I said, just people thinking all these people are going to help me. Isn't that fabulous? It's a community.
It's very much about networking, isn't it?
It's networking on a different level. I go to quite a few networking events, and unfortunately the reality is that most people go there with the wrong attitude. They hand out a business card before they even know what you do.
Thanks for listening to this snippet of an interview. You can listen to the full interview and more from Talking Business if you go to the following link.